Exploring the south of France felt like stepping into a postcard. After spending some time in bustling Marseille, we decided to hop on a train and head to Cassis, a charming little beach town just 30 minutes away. The excitement was real. This was our first time venturing into this part of the region, and honestly, we didn't know much about Cassis except for its reputation for being breathtakingly beautiful. Oh, and guess what? Creme de Cassis, the famous blackcurrant liqueur, originated from this part of France. It's a sweet, dark red liqueur that's used in classic cocktails like the Kir, a mix of creme de cassis and white wine, or the Coeur Royal, which swaps the wine for champagne. It's one of those drinks that instantly makes you feel fancy. Thinking about it made me even more curious about this place. When we arrived at the port of Cassis, it was love at first sight. This quaint town has such a peaceful charm, with its colorful buildings and boats bobbing gently in the harbor. Without wasting any time, we made our way to Plage du Bestouan, a small but stunning beach located on the southern edge of the town. From above, the view was absolutely mesmerizing. The beach is tucked into a cove, surrounded by rocky cliffs, Mediterranean greenery, and charming summer houses perched on the hills. It was the kind of scene that practically begs you to stop and just take it all in. To get down to the beach, you have to follow a concrete pathway and navigate a few stairs. But before we descended, we spent some time at an elevated viewpoint, soaking in the panoramic view. The sunlight danced on the crystal clear water, making it shimmer like a giant turquoise gem. From up there, the curve of the beach, the ancient seawall, and the idyllic architecture created the perfect backdrop for scenic photos. Naturally, we couldn't resist snapping a few, and by a few I mean a ton. The lighting was just perfect. The golden hour glow gave everything a soft, warm touch. When we finally made our way down, we were lucky to find a cozy little spot at the southern edge of the beach. Even though the beach was busy, it didn't feel overwhelming. The vibe was relaxed, and the scenery was simply unbeatable. The water was crystal clear and refreshingly cool, just what you'd expect from the Mediterranean. It wasn't too cold though, just enough to feel rejuvenating on a warm summer day. And the sand, it was a mix of small pebbles and soft grains, not the powdery white sand you might find elsewhere, but comfortable enough to lie on. We spent a good chunk of our time just soaking it all in. The beach had this magical way of making you forget about everything else. Between the sound of the gentle waves, the sight of the cliffs in the background, and the fresh, salty breeze, it felt like time had slowed down. Of course, we couldn't resist capturing every moment. This was one of those places where every angle seemed Instagram-worthy. The Mediterranean greenery and the contrast of the turquoise water against the rocky cliffs made every photo look like it was straight out of a travel magazine. Honestly, some of our all-time favorite beach shots and videos were taken here. The natural lighting gave our skin this radiant glow, and the background made every frame pop. It was like the scenery was doing all the hard work for us. Our photo session at Plage du Bestouan was something we'll treasure forever. Standing at the corner of the beach, surrounded by the raw beauty of this Mediterranean paradise, we couldn't help but be in awe. Every direction offered something magical. The seawall curving gracefully into the water, the towering rock formations adding a dramatic flair, and the shimmering turquoise waves lapping against the shore. It was a scene too perfect to be real, yet here we were, living it. These photos and videos will definitely bring us smiles in the future. Each one will transport us right back to this exact spot, the corner of the beach where we stood speechless, surrounded by nature's artistry. After we had our fill of photos and videos, we laid back on the sand and just absorbed the vibe. There's something about lying on a beach in the south of France that feels so rejuvenating. Maybe it's the air, the view, or just the simple pleasure of being surrounded by so much natural beauty. We spent a couple of hours at Plage du Bestouan, and it was pure magic. This little slice of paradise made us fall head over heels for the south of France. It was one of those experiences where you wish you could hit pause and stay in the moment forever. I'm so glad we found this spot. It gave us some unforgettable memories and reminded us just how beautiful the world can be. The Mediterranean vibe is so real here. Carefree yet powerful. Soothing yet exhilarating. We knew we couldn't fully capture the magic of the moment, but we tried anyway, because moments like these deserve to be remembered. Walking back to the Port de Cassis after our heavenly time at Plage du Bestouan, we felt relaxed and completely in awe of the south of France. The original plan was to head to the train station and return to Marseille, but Cassis had other plans for us. As we strolled through the charming port area, lined with boats, colorful restaurants, and quaint shops, we caught sight of another beach, Plage de la Grande Mer. It was bigger, busier, and undeniably tempting. This beach had a different vibe from Bestouan. While Bestouan felt intimate and tucked away, Plage de la Grande Mer was wide open and lively, with plenty of space to stretch out. Families, couples, and friends were spread out along the sand, enjoying the sunshine and the gentle waves. The ambiance was vibrant but not overwhelming, just the right mix of energy and relaxation. The backdrop here was spectacular in its own way. To one side, you could see the towering Cap Canaille, one of the highest sea cliffs in Europe, with its reddish-brown hues glowing softly in the afternoon light. On the other side, the Mediterranean stretched out in its shimmering turquoise glory. And then there was the charm of Cassis itself, with its picturesque buildings and laid-back vibe. It felt like a scene from a French Riviera postcard. We couldn't resist stopping. The light in the late afternoon was perfect for another round of photos, and we took full advantage. We started capturing the beach with the majestic Cap Canaille in the background, framing the photos perfectly against the endless blue sky. Then we turned our focus to the charming architecture of Cassis, with its pastel-colored buildings and old-world charm. And of course, we made sure to get shots with the Mediterranean's sparkling turquoise waters, which seemed to shift in color every time the sun hit the waves differently. Every angle seemed like it belonged on a travel magazine cover. We had so much fun snapping photos and taking turns posing and laughing at each other's attempts to look candid. It wasn't just about the pictures though. It was the shared joy of experiencing something so beautiful together. There's something about a place like Cassis that brings people closer. The memories we created here felt precious even in the moment, and I knew that looking back at these photos in the future would instantly transport us back to this magical beach. The hours slipped by faster than we realized. The people around us were just as mesmerizing as the scenery. Everyone seemed to be living in the moment, soaking up the sun, splashing in the waves, and enjoying the company of friends and family. There was an effortless joy in the air, and it was contagious. Even though we weren't locals, it felt like we belonged there, sharing in the simple pleasures of life by the sea. After a couple of hours, though, really started to catch up with me. My skin, despite the multiple layers of sunscreen I'd slathered on earlier, was starting to feel a bit crusty. The sun had worked its magic, and it was time to say goodbye to the beaches of Cassis for the day. We walked away reluctantly, but with full hearts. This unplanned detour to Plage de la Grande Mer had turned into an unforgettable experience. Cassis, with its breathtaking beauty and welcoming vibe, had given us a day filled with joy, laughter, and memories that would stay with us forever. As we headed back to the port, I couldn't help but feel grateful for the magic of the south of France and for the people I got to share it with. Every image, every video is a piece of this extraordinary memory, a little window we can open whenever we need to feel the joy of this incredible day at Cassis. As we walked back to the Port de Cassis after our amazing time at Plage de la Grande Mer, the vibe of the town immediately embraced us. The port was alive with energy, locals chatting over glasses of wine at cafe terraces, tourists snapping pictures, and small boats bobbing gently in the harbor. It was busy, but not chaotic. Instead, there was a laid-back charm to the scene, like everyone was just soaking in the beauty of the moment. The colorful storefronts and quaint restaurants lining the port added to the postcard-perfect feel of the place. Each spot seemed to have its own personality, from boutiques selling local goods to cozy bistros with outdoor seating. We couldn't resist taking our time to explore. Of course, we had to capture the vibe with a few more pictures and videos. The golden light of the setting sun reflected off the water, creating a magical glow that seemed to make everything more beautiful. Every shot felt like a piece of a memory we'd want to hold on to forever. It wasn't just about the scenery, it was about preserving the feelings we had in that moment. I'm so glad we took time to do it because I know we'll look back on these snapshots and be transported right back to this dreamy Mediterranean town. This wasn't the Paris of romantic streets and iconic monuments. This was Cassis, a vibrant yet relaxed coastal gem that gave us a taste of the Mediterranean lifestyle. It was proof that every corner of France has its own unique charm. For just a few euros on a train ride, we'd discover the place that gave us an entirely different experience of France.